Hey, good morning, friends. Scott Brookins here. Hope you're having a great day and a great week wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. And please like and share this message along with any others that have touched your heart, as God has allowed me to share a little bit of my life, or what He's put on my heart to share, not only to me, to preach to myself, but also to share to many others. So today's title is Broom, 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 Broom of Doom. Kind of a scary title, maybe, but it comes from one of the times that my family and I were living over in Czech Republic. We were living there for a year, traveling through about 7 different countries of the Eastern, Central Eastern Europe part of the world. And we had an apartment there, a flat, as they call it in Europe. And it was about, I think, a 4-story building. There were 8 apartments, and we were on the 3rd floor. And it was just an amazing story of how God placed us in that apartment and the location it was, to walking, because we had no car, so we had to walk to the bus or the train station to travel to other cities or other countries. And it was such a centralized location next to the square and this beautiful garden area. And we didn't have any idea. And God placed us there, and it worked out to be a great year. And so we had been traveling in and out for about a month. And we came back into our apartment landing, and you kept the shoes outside in kind of a shoe rack. And next to our door was a broom and a dustpan and maybe a mop. And we didn't know what that was for, so we just went in and went about our business for, days, and continued on. And maybe a month or so later, we came back from a trip, and there it was again, this broom and mop and dustpan and bucket, and we didn't know what was going on. Why someone left it in front of our door. Our landlord hadn't told us anything, and so eventually one of the pastors that we knew in our town, our neighbor or somebody, got a hold of him and said, well, that it's your turn to clean the stairwells. And that's what that is. And so we, no one had told us. And so through the 8 apartments, you rotated who cleaned the stairwells every couple months. And so our kids nicknamed every time we came back from a trip, and there was the broom. It was the Broom of Doom. Because what happened then is that basically, whether it was summer or winter, or it doesn't matter what the condition of the stairwell was, when it was your turn to clean it, you had to clean it. And so we swept it out, and Laura did all this, where she had, we swept the landings and went all the way down to the bottom, and then she hand mopped. And because there wasn't a mop, you just did it by hand. And so in the wintertime, it was muddy or had snow remains or water, and in the summer it was just really, really hot in there. And so she had to do that. And so every couple of months we'd come back from a trip from ministering in other places, and there would be the Broom of Doom waiting for Laura to do some work. And in other times of our travels, when we needed to do laundry, Laura would have to do laundry in the, maybe of a sink of the room we were staying in, or in a tub outside. And then I would wring all of our clothes out until your hands are raw, trying to get all the water out, and then you'd hang them on a line, or even we ran a line in our room sometimes where we were staying. And you just had to do things because you had to do things, right? And so many times in our lives, we come across situations where we have to take issues, or we have to take actions, and we don't want to. Or maybe we think it's below us, especially in our culture, even worse even today. But, people don't want to work. And sometimes, there was a movie, I don't remember, one of the vacation movies with Chevy Chase, and it was like, this crazy Cousin Eddie, and it was like, he's unemployed forever, and he's holding out for a management position, right? But his family's starving, and he basically is a loser in a way, but he's holding out for that management position. Well, how many times have you taken jobs that you didn't want to? I've delivered newspapers in the middle of the night where I didn't want to do it, but I needed to. I've done day labor, so I was picking up trash or sorting through recycle with the recycle company. Why did I do that? Did I want to? Of course not. But I had 2 kids and a wife to feed, and I could get paid that day $5 an hour back then, and I did what I had to do. And so many times that's what we need to do. Life is not easy, and no one promises that it'll be easy except for maybe a government or some kind of politician. But the Bible tells us it is not going to be an easy life. And you look all through history, you look at, people that lived 200 or 300 years ago or past, or 50 years ago, how the difference, the conveniences we have today that no one else did. I mean, 20 years ago, we didn't have cell phones, right? Or the internet was just coming about. And so sometimes we just have to do things because we have to do things. And so I want to read a couple scriptures to you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, it tells us, Paul tells us that whatever we do, whatever you eat or breathe, do it all for the glory of God. And in Colossians chapter 3, this is one of my favorite verses. It's kind of, I guess you would call a life verse if people want to cling to a couple verses in the Bible. But I've tried to do this because I've had to do varied, of jobs and to make ends meet throughout our ministry life. When we were traveling, that's the only way we earned an income, was being out on the road, doing 4 or 5 concerts a week or preaching that many times. And so if we'd come home and had a month off, and typically December was a slow month for us, I had to do something so we could eat and pay the rent. And so Colossians 3:23, it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are working for. And so no matter what you have to do today or this week or this month, I want to encourage you to go do it. Even if you don't want to, maybe you don't feel like it, you're not feeling good, you got some challenges. Those are the times we need to just try to put a smile on our face and get our rear ends out of the bed or out of the chair and go do what needs to be done. My wife did not want to clean the stairwell in a foreign country, especially when we were the only English speakers there. We didn't know what we're doing. And all of a sudden there's the Broom of Doom waiting for us. And you just have to do what you got to do, and do it all to the glory of God, and know that, people are watching. And so if you're a Christian, you're a believer, people are seeing how you act and how you relate to people and how you have a smile on your face, or are you grumpy, or are you complaining and moping around and complaining and about this and that. But people are going to watch you, and you become like a witness to the world based on our actions, even more so than our words. And those are important too, because if you're flying off the top and you're saying things you shouldn't say, that's a witness also. So I want to encourage you, no matter what you do, no matter what you eat or drink, or what job you have, or what you need to get done today, if you got to just make a phone call, or you got to go to the doctor, or you just got to get out of bed today, do it to the glory of God and to the best of your ability, and know that He is with you and He'll help you through these challenges. And so I hope you'll like and share this. Remember the Broom of Doom, and maybe it'll remind you that, sometimes we just got to do life, and we just got to do what we got to do. And so I hope you'll share it, encourage others with this message. Have an amazing day, and go inspire others to do the same. God bless you.